Hi, I'm Bob Alsop with ShopSabre CNC. Around here they call me RouterBob.
And I'm Shawn Morley. Some of you know me as CNC Shawn.
In this video, we're going to do a walk around of the newly redesigned IS Series CNC routers.
Well, Bob, you know we've had ShopSabre machines in our company for around 10 years now. The IS 510 specifically has probably been the biggest asset we've had.
That's neat, but you're going to really like the changes that we've made, and let's show everybody what those changes are on the new IS Series machines.
Let me tell you about one thing that really drew my company to buy a ShopSabre CNC router. Everything is designed, engineered, and fabricated right here in Lakeville, Minnesota. The North American structural steel is brought in one end of the building, fabricated through, it runs through our aerospace milling machine and out the other end.
This is a good time to talk about engineering. Shawn mentioned that we use structural steel, and we do that for a reason. It's very predictable. And because it's predictable, then we can use engineering software to actually help us design. Now, it's not AI, but it's pretty close. Basically, we can put all the dimensions of the parts in, and the software shows us, it's called finite element analysis, it shows us what the loads look like. That's how we determine things. A good example is the spacing on these bearing trucks. We wind it out, that gives us more rigidity, that's better feed rates, that's better edge finish, that's better productivity. We did the same thing on the ball screws. We moved the ball screw up closer to the gantry, better performance, and we made those changes on both the IS and the Pro Series frames.
You know, Bob, you mentioned the wider gantry up right here. We've got linear guide rails on every axis, and I see it's wider here. What kind of advantage does that offer us?
I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, people don't understand how important machining is. Now, we talk about engineering and design, and that determines the size of the guide rails and the spacing. But there's another part of this that has to do with how do you make the frame. Sure. By using our aerospace mill, the mill determines the accuracy of this machine.
Now, this will reduce some harmonics, maybe extend the life of the ball screw as well, right?
It makes it perform better. Everything cuts better. You get better edge finish, better everything. Shawn, one of the things I really like about ShopSabre is we use quality name brand components, and we don't lie about the specs. Let me give you a good example. If you look at that spindle, we call that a 10 horsepower spindle, and that's an Italian spindle a lot of companies use. If you look at the label, there's actually two ratings. One says 10 horsepower S1, and one says 12 horsepower S6. Well, let me tell you what that means. S1 means I can run 10 horsepower 100% of the time, so forever. Okay. S6 means I can run it at 12 horsepower, but only for 60% of the time. So a lot of times the competitors use the higher number, knowing that that's not true, that it's not on it. We don't do that. Oh, by the way, it's the same spindle.
You know, Bob, you mentioned all the great things about that spindle. I've been using the same name brand spindle, 10 horse spindle, for close to 10 years now in our shop, and I've never had an issue. But additionally to the great spindle, we use AC closed loop digital servos on every axis of the machine. Why don't you tell everybody about that?
All right, let's talk about closed loop encoders to start with. Now, basically what happens is there's a drive that tells the motor what to do. If it's closed loop, the motor talks back to the drive, so it constantly changes things. If you don't have that, if you have a problem, the next move can be random. So closed loop encoders are really a nice feature. Now, but there's another part to this too. The encoders we use are actually glass. Now, here's why we use it. It's more accurate. Glass doesn't change as much with temperature. As the motor gets warm, it doesn't change glass encoders. The sizes on your machine don't change. If you cut corners and don't use those, as the machine gets hotter, the sizes of your parts change.
So it's kind of like having an onboard GPS on your table. It knows where it's at all the time, can always remember, and go back to it.
While we were redesigning the gantry, we had FEA open, so that's a really good time to also update Super Z system. Now let me tell you what that is. We have 12 inches of clearance under the gantry, but we have actually 16 inches of travel, so you could use all that 12 inches. But we did some other things also. We actually redesigned the stiffener system because it gives us better rigidity at the cut. And we also upgraded the servo motors and the balancing system. The benefits this, everything is Z's faster. So that means your drilling's faster, your tool changer's faster, and 3D machining is faster because the Z-axis determines how fast 3D machining is.
All right, well, Bob just talked about them. The Z height is great. I want to go into the tool measure switch. We've got 15 tools here. You can set the machine to have it measure every tool, and once your Z0 is set, you don't have to touch those again. It's such a great feature. You know, in the real world, you're cruising along, cutting stuff, something can happen, a bit can get dull, could break. You got to replace that. Just measure that one again, and everything's good to go.
One of the changes we made on the redesign was we went from plastic valves to brass valves. They're just more durable. But this is a really good time to talk about our vacuum table system. This is actually a phenolic top, and this is a vacuum table. And what's really special about us is how effective we get vacuum to the underside of the parts. Now, here's why. If you look at these grooves, they're wider, so that gives you more surface to the underside. More vacuum gets through, your parts hold better. There's more to it than that. If you look at that front tube frame, it's actually a vacuum plenum. So it holds vacuum. Think about that as a vacuum tank. So it's a larger tank, and then we connect that to the pump with a 4-inch hard pipe. Then we go from the plenum with 2 hard pipes to each one of these zones. So it's a really, really good system, and I don't think there's anybody in the industry that can touch this.
All right, let's talk about the tool changer setup on this machine. We've got 3 different options: 6 tool, a 12 tool, or a 15 tool. That's what I like the most. The 15 tool with the Fave 3, you get 3 extra tools in there, wherever you need them, your 3 favorite ones. But what it benefits me in my shop is I can set up door tools, all my cabinet tools. If I'm gonna do ray fix connectors or cabinet, I can do drilling for that. I can set up all my dovetail tools. And once they're set, they're good to go. So you don't have to spend time later resetting all your tools.
There's 2 things I really like about the Fave 3. First, I can set my door tools up and leave them. I don't have to constantly tweak those. And most of the machining I do is with 3 tools, so the tools are right up here where I run the machine. When we talk about fast setup, let me show you another feature that you need to think about when you spec your machine, and that's pop-up pins. Now here's what happens. The pop-up pins come up here. They raise up, they create a corner for your operator to push the sheet in. You don't have to worry about alignment. They push the sheet in, it lines up, and they're ready to go.
Another great option you can add to your machine, we've got an air hose, a blowgun on here. It's great for cleaning up around the machine, cleaning things off. Just at the end of the day, keep it nice and tidy.
Now let's talk about the motion control that we actually use for the machine. We've talked about guide rails, but motion is generated by ball screws, all right? Those ball screws then interact with ball nuts, and there's no backlash in them, so there's no play. So anywhere your machine moves across the table, it's accurate. Now, if you contrast that, a lot of machines try to tell you that rack and pinion is fine. Well, the problem with rack and pinion, there has to be play in it or it doesn't move. Well, somewhere on that table, that play shows up. The worst scenario is when you're trying to do something like MDF doors and one of your doors has a bug in it because that play showed up there. You don't have that problem with ball screws. The other thing that came along is when we developed the technology for ball screw, we developed something we call anti-whip. So because of the way we mount the ball screw and the way we control the ball nut, there's no play there. So we don't have to worry about any type of motion generated by that. That ball screw technology has really made these machines as successful as they are.
You know, Bob, for years we've been running the same machine, never had an issue with the ball screw. The accuracy of it, the repeatability of it. Let me tell you, we just finished a project. There was over 5 million lines of code in just one sheet. Almost 19 hours of cutting on one sheet of material. And we're able to do that because of this ball screw technology and the repeatability of it.
Shawn, that is real world validation of why you want ball screws. There's another aspect to CNC, and that is the human part. Can your operator run the machine? Can they be successful? We dug into that and we created a system that was easy to use and easy to learn so that a person that comes to work every day can operate the machine. You don't have to hire an engineer. Shawn, could you actually show our viewers how that works?
Absolutely. Let's take a look. All right, we've got the controller screen pulled up here. Just want to run through a few of the options we've got here. This box here, we can use the different arrow keys. We've got different speeds if you want to slow it down, or increments if you want to do that. Now let's jump down here. Big key feature of this is the home button. Home button is going to bring you to your XY0. It's going to set the machine up for the day. It's going to give it its boundaries. So you're not going to have to worry about crashing the machine. It's not going to run off. You're not going to be able to drive it back into the tool rack, anything like that. Then from there, if you want to change the XY0, let's say we move it with the arrow keys over there and we want to change it right there. We can set that. If we wanted to change the Z height, we can set the Z height. Additionally, a big feature you want to be sure to do after you home your machine is the warm-up button. That's going to get the bearings going. It's going to get the spindle all set for the day and ready to go. You want to be sure to do that every time. From there, let's jump up top. Let's open up a file. We'll just pull something up here, show you how easy that is to run. It's going to view it right there if we need to zoom in and take a look at it. You can see the coordinates when I move the mouse. Everything's right there. Let's say we're running a file and we happen to break our bit. That's always a bummer. But luckily, if we stop the machine, we know where it's at. We can hit the restart. We can go right back to that spot where it was, and we're good to go. All you got to do is replace that bit, tool height it, and the machine knows right where to go, and we're set. It really is a great feature. And some of these, it just shows how easy this is to run. Let's go over one more thing. ShopSabre Tech, they can remotely log in, pull up input monitor, see if there's anything going on there, if you're having some issues. Maybe it's in the machine, maybe it's in a file that you've got that's wrong, and they can take a look at that, look at the G-code if they wanted. You could hit this button. Here's your G-code right there, and they're going to be able to see if there's an issue there. I hope this shows just some of the easy options you've got here and how quick it is to learn, how easy it is going to be for your operators to do this. Bob, we showed how easy the controller is to use, but every once in a while we need to create other parts. Now we use cabinet software, but then you got other options. What do we got?
Shawn, I'm glad you brought that up. All of our customers get a program called vCarve Pro that lets you make things with your router. And that's independent of cabinet software or anything else. Let me show you how easy that is to use. In most cases, your ShopSabre CNC router is going to come with a program called vCarve Pro. And even if you have cabinet software or something else, there's always parts you need to make that aren't part of that software. So that's what you use vCarve Pro. In this first demonstration, I'm just going to draw a part to show you how easy it is. It has full drawing tools. Now, how do you make a part in a cabinet shop? Well, this is an end panel, so I would probably cut out a rectangle and cut out a toe kick. Well, that's the same approach I'm using here. Create the end panel, cut the toe kick out. Then I need to think about joinery. Now, the router is going to cut all the joints out. And so I'm going to cut dados for the cross pieces to mount into. So I draw the dado, get it positioned. There's lots of alignment tools built into vCarve Pro. So I get that in the position. And then once I do that, I can copy it and then move that shape to other places. So there's a dado that's the same size. It's actually for the drawer opening. So we'll copy that down there. So there's that one. Same thing. I'll do the same thing. I'll move one to the back, and then that becomes the top stretcher that goes in the rear. And then when we get down to the bottom, it's real similar, except it's just bigger. So the setback from the front's the same, so that's a good place to start. And then what we'll do is we'll just adapt one of those. So we'll copy another one, align it to there. And now one of the things I can do when I change the size of something, I can say, okay, I want to anchor it so that it doesn't move. In other words, I can lock in one corner. In our case, I want to lock in a corner, and then just type in the new length of the dado, and there it is. And then we've got one more dado. We've got a dado to fit for the back to slide in. Now, sometimes the back panel dado is deeper, so that would be a separate dado, but in our case, they're going to be the same depth. So it's really one shape. Right, and the last thing we need are holes. So we take a 5mm hole, we array it. I want 5 adjustable shelf holes, 32 millimeters apart. Those get grouped together, and then we align them first with the back of the cabinet, then forward a certain amount, and then once we get that dialed in, then we want to get them centered with the opening where the doors are. So if I draw a line from there to there, the midpoint on that line will be the center of that. So all I have to do then is align the adjustable shelf holes with that midpoint, and that gives me the adjustable shelf holes. Then we simply add the tool paths and then generate the program to go to the machine to cut this part. That's how easy it is to draw a part and make it on your ShopSabre CNC. Our next topic is nesting. Now here's basically how this works. So we take these parts, and I've created 3 parts on the screen. I call that one a do-nothing part. And then there's a pentagon and a circle. And we say, okay, here are the pieces. What am I going to cut it out with? What size tool? How much additional space? How much do I want to leave around the edge? And then how many of each of these do I want? And the computer's going to figure it out.
So then I circle them and hit preview, and let's see how it works out. There's all the parts. So you see how the computer fit the parts on the sheet. It's true shape nesting, so it gets part in part. And then we apply a tool path like we did before, and there's our part. So when it gets to the machine, this is what's going to look like. That's a 4x8 sheet. Okay, get rid of the scrap. That's our parts. Now, this is the same technique that we use to do the dinosaur that you see at shows sometimes. V-carving is a process that's used commonly to make signs, and it's done with a V bit and sometimes a straight bit. So you start out with letters. In our case, it's just a font that's in the computer. I put American made, and the software is going to cut it out. If you look at the toolpaths in the corners, the sharp corners, the bit climbs out. That's what gives it that look. So there it is. Now, if I add another piece of line to the outside and redo it, now all of a sudden the letters are raised up. You can make a lot of really neat things with V-carving. Sometimes you don't have letters, you just have a graphic. So you have to create the vectors that get machined, and V-Carve Pro has the ability to do that. So it looks at the contrast, creates the lines. Once you've got the lines, then it's just a matter of applying the same toolpaths we looked at earlier. And it's, once again, a tremendous way to make signs. You know, V-Carve is a really powerful tool, and it's a great addition to your ShopSabre CNC router. I think you're going to really like this product.
When you put all this technology together, you end up with what we call a machine tool grade CNC router. Well, how are we able to do that? Well, we're able to do that because we have a vertically integrated factory in Lakeville, Minnesota. And we actually do everything direct. So there's no dealers, there's no sales guys. It's basically you deal directly with the company. And that also includes support.
And you know, as a customer, the support is second to none. There's nobody better out there. You're able to call in, email in. Best part of all, they can remote into your computer. If you've ever got an issue, they can diagnose it, take a look at what's going on, and help you out from there.
Shawn, it even gets better. When you become one of our customers, you become part of Sabre Nation. Sabre Nation is a group of users that help each other and have files. And we have Sabre Nation University, where you can download all the videos and things to help you. So you become part of a community, and that community helps you be successful with your ShopSabre CNC.
Best part of all, it's all free.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you need more information, you can contact us at shopsabre.com.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Thank you for watching.